The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live.
Greetings, my fellow warriors, by Meckanimal, and today we're going to discuss whether or not cardio kill your gains. That's the concern of number of you guys out there, fellow warriors, and it's a quite disturbing question, in my opinion, because cardio should be something everyone should embrace, right? The heart being the most important muscle of the body. So because people hate cardio, they tend to come up with subjective, I can say that, reason to avoid cardio. And one of those alibi or one of those excuses that they put up there is that cardio will keep you from building muscle. It will kill your gains. So to answer the question, will cardio inhibit your ability to produce and synthesize muscle? It's no, and it is yes. And I'm gonna use a big no and a little yes, if you understand what I'm saying. And the reason why it's a big no, because no is, if I was to pick one to go by, it will be no. Cardio does not impede your ability to build muscle, and you can have some minor and specific situation where you could that can suggest that you may have a little issue, you know, what you call maximizing your training potential if you do cardio, and that come with when you do too much cardio. So the first spectrum will be no, cardio does not impede the ability to build muscle. And as long as you keep the cardio moderate and you eat enough to keep yourself in a surplus, there is no reason why you should not be building muscle. And the only reason where when it might be an issue is if you just not eating enough. You starving yourself because maybe you one scenario is maybe you want to have a lean bulk, right? And not eating enough, barely eating to maintain, and on top of that you just do way too much cardio just because you want to be shredded and lose some fat, right? And at the same time you're expecting to be building muscle. Well, it's not so efficient as a method to reach your goal. So you want to keep in mind that to build muscle, you want to be somewhat, at least in the maintenance caloric what you call range, or in the surplus. And if you want one of those who enjoy doing cardio, which is the case for I would assume for this fellow warrior who asked the question in the comment section, I would just suggest to eat, you know, slightly more than you usually eat to maintain, and just keep doing your strength training in addition to the cardio. And if you notice that you get too tired and have a hard time recovering, then you just add a little bit of food. As long as you eat enough and keep your cardio moderate, you should be able to build muscle. I don't see any reason why, you know, not to be able to build muscle. So that's the general answer is no, it won't impede the ability to build muscle. If any, you should do cardio, because doing cardio will increase your work capacity, your ability to perform better, to lift, you know, I mean, more to lift, I won't say more weight, but to lift in a way that you don't get drained, your ability to recover faster in between sets. So your aerobic pathways will be optimized. So that's that's the main thing that I can mention, or the main benefits of doing cardio, and how it could help with building muscle. And in this case, it will be for the workout itself, your ability to perform more work without being exhausted, and thus stimulating enough the fibers for you to build muscle. So that's that. Now the little yes, it can impede your ability to build muscle, and it's actually not muscle related. It will be more like strength related, right? And yeah, specifically strength, because my reasoning behind it will be, right, like to build muscle, you need to ultimately get stronger and substantially lifting heavier and with more repetition and more repetition. So strength is definitely essential in building muscle. So that's where the reasoning of attaching the yes with building muscle and cardio impeding the ability to do so. So let's get back to the top. I mean the spectrum we're talking about. It will be that doing too much cardio can impede your ability to get stronger, because strength will be triggered by some fast twitch muscles, and we know that we have some hybrid some hybrid fibers in the body that take the ability, the criteria of slow twitch muscle when you start training too much cardio. So you don't want to take those hybrid fibers that can take the ability of endurance fibers. You don't want to stimulate them to the point that they turn into endurance fibers. Then you are only left with the fast twitch muscles, and if you happen not to be that gifted and you have very little of those, then that can really impede your ability to get stronger. So definitely for strength training athletes, you have to be mindful of the amount of cardio and how you program your workout. Otherwise, you're gonna end up turning some hybrid fibers into slow twitch fiber, leaving you with less fast twitch, and without those, the ability to be fast and your ability to get stronger will be hindered. And so that's the main danger, I would say, of doing cardio. That's why you cannot really be like an elite endurance athlete and elite strength athlete at the same time. That you can't reach the peak of both performance at the same time. One is always going to take the toll. Even if you're gifted and you're able to push both boundaries to the fullest of your ability, you will definitely be able to perform better in one field if you were to dial down the other field, if you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, doing too much cardio can definitely turn some of these hybrid fibers that will take the function of slow twitch, and thus leaving you weak. And studies, I think, have shown that over time you can adapt in that regimen and still be able to perform decently well while you still do some type of extreme cardio. But I would not suggest that. That's not really a smart way to go by. If you have a goal to excel in one thing, you just want to focus more on that and do the other aspects of training. You want to dial down the other aspects of training. Still do it, not necessarily let it go, especially for the average human being. If you're not like a professional athlete that needs to be excellent in his field, you can still do both. But whatever you decide to excel at the moment, you want to dial down and back down the intensity of the other field. So that's that. You have the answer. The answer is a big no. It would not. Cardio will not kill you again. If anything, I would suggest everybody to do some cardio, because cardio is really good for the overall systemic health of your body, you know. And that's that. Think about the most important muscle of your body. Sounds quite cliche, but it is really true. And the little yes will be, if you happen to be focusing on strength training, that may not be a good idea to do too much cardio, because it will definitely hinder your ability to get stronger. And somebody mentioned David Gagan. Check David Gagan, that he answered the person who asked me actually this question that I'm answering. Now he answered that person telling him, yeah, you can actually do cardio. Check out David Gagan. He's able to do cardio and still be strong. And actually, that's not the perfect answer. I mean, the perfect example to illustrate the situation, because in the second case that I just suggest, if you see David Gagan, he does all the ultra marathon, but he's not like strong individual. I mean, he may have a strong mind, but when it comes to performing like absolute power wise, like moving astronomical amount of weight, even though he has, for example, like some record or pull up or in certain amount of time, which is quite interesting and quite saluted. I mean, when it comes to moving some extra load on himself, in terms of weighted pull-up, for example, I don't know, of like a barbell row or something like that, he may not be well geared to perform those exercises, just because his training style just won't let him. He does way too much cardio, and yeah, so in terms of strength, he's definitely not gonna hinder his ability to perform that way. I think I even seen him doing some bench press or whatever. Even when he lifts weight, he goes for extreme endurance weight, CrossFit style. I think, if I recall, having seen him somewhere in one of his clips with some of his buddies. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to clarify. So, not to take anything away from him, David Gagan, he's the man, he's badass. Like, I read his book and all this thing, you know. I mean, he's all cool, but like you just have to be real that you cannot excel in all field. The body has its limit. As much as David Gagan would tell us that whenever you are reaching the limit, you barely tapped into 40% of your of your ability. You still have 60% left. But I'm talking about the ability itself of the body to the potential available. Yeah, the potential available is limited, so you're gonna have to be smart and use the potential sparingly. And if you really want to be good at something, you just have to train that thing. So yes, train cardio, don't neglect cardio. I mean, keep it light, keep it moderate, but just keep in mind that if you go too intense, like those HIT, high intensity interval training, those heat training, are definitely going to impede your ability to get strong. So if that's not your goal, to get strong, hey, just do what you love to do, man. As long as you move, everything will be all right. Everything is and will always be Beast Mode the Meckanimal way. Like, comment, subscribe. It helps a lot with the channel algorithm. And yeah, everything is much appreciated. Salute.
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live.